When you think of buying cosmetics, makeups, and shampoos, what do you usually consider? Do you ever check to see if the companies test their products on animals? What about when choosing the foods you eat? Do you ever consider the foods you're eating and the struggles that the animals had to go through to give up their lives for your benefit? There are nearly infinite reasons for abolishing animal testing and giving animals more rights, but I would like to introduce three of them. First, animals are living, breathing creatures that can feel pain. Second, humans should not expose animals, and they should have similar rights to people. Third, animal abusers should be imprisoned or ticketed, at least, for their offenses. My first point is that animals are living, breathing creatures that can still feel pain. If animals are tested with harmful materials used in makeups, medicines, and etc., they can still feel their bodies diminishing, just like people could. Most people who test products on animals don't really see beyond their jobs, and they act very quickly upon harming animals just to get paid. Even though there are very simple alternatives to animal use, the US government does not require that companies use that. There are no laws in the United States against animal testing. The only US law that even allows the use of animals in the laboratory settings is called the Animal Welfare Act. It allows animals to be, and I quote from PETA's website, burned, shocked, poisoned, isolated, starved, forcibly restrained, addicted to drugs, and even brain damaged. In Europe, cosmetics that have been tested on animals are not even permitted to be sold. Companies aren't even required by law to test on animals. However, they are required to prove that their products are safe and non-toxic. Companies can say they haven't tested on animals, but they usually work around themselves and contract out their work, so that the company itself does not actually animal test, but rather another business. Overall, particular ingredients have been tested on animals, even though the final product may not. My second point is that humans should not expose animals, and animals should have similar rights to people. Research has shown that humans can receive all nutrients from green vegetables and fruit, so why use animals instead? Raising animals just for them to be killed and used for foods is inhumane and unnecessary. Although hunting was completely necessary over 100,000 years ago, prior to our existence, now it seems nothing more than a violent act only, sometimes used for food. My third point is that animal abusers should be imprisoned for their actions. People who abuse other people are likely to abuse animals as well. Therefore, people with convicted felonies should not be permitted to raise animals and have pets. Since animals can't speak for themselves, numbers of people have begun standing up for their rights and advancing causes in human and animal abuse. Most animal rights advocates believe that punishing animal cruelty offenders and applying strict laws upon them would discourage animal cruelty from even happening. Several states have begun increasing punishment for crimes of animal abuse and animal hoarding, such as the puppy mills, which is a terrible thing where there's several thousand puppies and they just sell them to random people, and half the time they use them for animal fighting and other things like that. In conclusion, for these reasons and many more, I would hope that you agree with me that animals deserve to be treated fairly, and that it is finally time for animals to gain more rights than they've ever had. As stated by Dr. Arthur Schopenhauer, the assumption that all animals are without rights and the illusion that our treatment of them has no moral significance is a positively outrageous example of Western crudity and barbarity. Universal compassion is the only guarantee of morality. So the next time you're shopping for meats or considering different cosmetics to use, consider the fact that animals were most likely harmed while the products were made for you, the consumer.